so I know it's been a hot minute, but I wanted to update everyone on my birth control situation. So I had an appointment, and I go to this appointment, and I sit there for about half an hour, and it's full of crying babies, and I'm just like, oh man, this is awful. Please shut your kids up. Like, there, and they finally call my name after like half an hour. And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, Why? Why are you sorry?" And she goes, "The doctor called off sick. You have to go home." So I kind of freak out a little bit. And she tells me to go to another facility, which would be, I believe, the fifth time at a fourth facility, completely new place that I've never been to. So the next day, I like go home and I freak out for a little bit. And the next day, I go in and I'm fully prepared to just not get birth control. At this point, I'm just like, whatever. All right, let's have a kid. Like, fine, whatever. So I drive, and this one's downtown. So I drive downtown, and as I'm driving downtown, I'm like coming down this one ramp, and there's like an on ramp right here. And I see this like weird thing, and then I notice it's the Google car. I guess they're like redoing Google Maps. So I like end up like pulling right up next to the guy, and I was just like, oh, Google Maps. So like I'm waving on Google Maps. Anyway, I park and I walk to my appointment, and I I get there and I walk in, and she goes, "Do you have an appointment today?" And I'm like, "Well, not really. I was told to come here though." And she's like, "Okay, we have a problem." And I'm like, "But Wanda sent me." She's like, "No, no, that's fine. You can be here, but our computers are down." "What do you mean your computers are down? Do I need to go home? Like, is this just not even gonna work at all? Like, I just have to go home. I'm done. That's it. That's all I got. I don't even, no birth control. Okay, see ya." And I start leaving, and she's like, "No, no, you can stay, but you're gonna have to fill everything in by hand." And I'm like, "Well, hand it over. I can do that. That's not a problem. I can write." Like, so fill out the paperwork, and I go, and I'm not a morning person, first of all. I really hate mornings. I'm usually up until 4 o'clock in the morning. That's the only morning I see. Um, so I'm up really late, and then I woke up and I drank a bunch of coffee before I went to my appointment. So I go, and she's taking my blood pressure, and she's talking to me. So like I'm talking back, and my blood pressure was just like through the roof. Like it was super high, and she looks at me and she's like, "Do you have any problems with your blood pressure?" And I'm like, "Not that I know of. Like it's never been weird before." And she's like, "Oh, okay. um, I'm going to need to do a pregnancy test." And I'm like, okay, sure, all right. So she does a pregnancy test, and she like sends me out of the room and like brings me back. And like when I come back into the room, she goes, "Okay, you're pregnant." "See, test is negative." "You're a bitch. You bitch. That's not even funny. I am not even amused. That was absolutely horrible. I can't believe you did that to me. Do you do this to everybody? Really? That's mean. That's just I can't even breathe. You suck. You suck. You suck." So the whole time I'm freaking out, she's laughing hysterically because she thinks it's the funniest thing she's ever seen. Stupid lady. So I go in and I actually see the real doctor after I'm terrified that I thought I was pregnant. Now I want the birth control like 1,000 times more than I did. And I go in and I sit and I see the doctor, and the doctor goes, "Okay, go ahead and get undressed." She just stands there. She doesn't leave. She just stands there and stares at me, and I'm like, okay. And she's like, "You can put your clothes on the chair." And then she turns around and she just stays in the room, and I was like, uh, all right. So, got naked and put my gown on, and she left. Like, then she did the exam or whatever, and then she leaves for me to be able to get dressed after the exam. So, after you violate me, you'll leave the room, but beforehand you can't. Anyway, so she comes back, and we're talking, and she brings me another paper bag. Do you remember the paper bag from the last time? Yeah, she brings me another one of those. And I'm just like, are you out of birth control? And she's like, oh no, it's in here. And I'm like, why do I need such a big bag? And she's like, okay, in this bag, you have 7 months of birth control. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But then I hear she had the radio on the whole time, and like I wasn't really paying attention to it until right then when I heard on the radio, birth control is evil. And I was like, what the fuck? Hello? Hello? She had on this like Catholic radio station, I guess. And it was bashing like family planning and birth control. And she's literally starts going, amen. Amen. Here's your birth control. And I'm just like, what the? This is weird. And then she's like, okay, and I am legally obligated to give you one of these. And she hands me a Plan B. Plan B is like $25. And she's just like, here you go, for free. You can have it. And I'm like, do I need this? But as she hands it to me, I kid you not, I could not make this up if I wanted to. The guy on the radio goes, and Plan B was invented by the devil in hell to stray our children away from Jesus. And I'm taking it and I'm just like, and she's like, amen, amen. Here's your Plan B, sweetheart. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So ridiculous. I was laughing hysterically. And so I got 7 months of birth control for free, Plan B, and a bottle of vitamins for free because women of your age need to take vitamins. Okay. So I leave and I'm walking back to my car. And I think to myself, self, you should probably put that birth control in your purse. And I'm like, it's not a bad idea. So I put it in my purse and zip it closed and I'm walking and I come to a crosswalk. And it's a red, like a stop, don't walk sign. So I wait for the walk and I start to walk across when it says to walk. And I notice that there's a car like right on my right and like whatever, not a big deal. They have a red light, they're stopped. So I'm walking and I trip. I don't just trip. I trip and go flying through the air. Ow. Hands first, like screaming, and I land on my face. And I stand up and I notice the Google Maps car. I am now officially the girl you should be looking for who fell on Google Maps because there's definitely a picture of it. That is me. People were asking me if I was okay. I had to limp away. I guess, all in all, I took the good and the bad. I fell on Google Maps, but I have birth control, so everything seems to be looking up. Now, if I can just conquer this Mardi Gras shit that's going on, I should be alright. Well, until next time. Ow. Ouch. Gah! Gah! Oh, the things I do to make you fuckers laugh.